everybody. Welcome to the Cave of the Anonymous Monk. Well, tonight I'd like to talk about demons. All the way they work, how they work, what their intentions are, how they get in, things like that. So the demons, if you had spiritual eyes and could see about you, you would be so horrified of how many demons are around. You would be absolutely horrified. You'd run to the Lord in a moment, and you'd become a monk. If you had spiritual eyes and could see the reality of this dimension. So the demons are all about, they love to cling to each other. That's what they do, they cling to each other. The stronger ones have a bunch of little ones clinging to them, and that gives them more power. So this is how the demons work. How do they get in? How do they affect you? Why are they allowed to? And why are they not allowed to? So let's look at it through me and my actions. So I'm walking along and I'm walking in holiness. I'm doing good. There's no reason why anything should happen to me. Let's just have this little scenario. So then, in my perfection, I make an imperfection. I can't think of what, but like I have a jealousy of something, an envy of something, and that me starting to play with that feeling, not having one thought, I mean dabbling and playing with this thought. That's how you lose your protection. That puts a hole in your covering, so to speak. If you have covering. I'm assuming you have covering, and that means you're walking with the Lord. You're walking in holiness. Or trying. So you're trying to please the Lord instead of yourself. So when you do something wrong, it allows the demons to get in. They have a right and just reason to do their thing with you. Do you understand how that works? So when you do some sinful action, the Lord's hands are tied in protecting you, so to speak. The demons come to the Lord. You see this in the Bible. You know this exists. The demons come to the Lord, or Satan, whoever it is, the powers that be. Satan's not the only power. There's a lot of powerful demons. He was only one of them, and there's some more powerful than him. He wasn't the most powerful angel before they fell. It's the most beautiful, maybe, and knew music, had music, but he wasn't that powerful as the other ones. So there's some big powerful demons, but they're under him. They're under him. They're all under him, even though they're more powerful. Okay, so the demons have a right to. They go to the Lord. They'll say, "Look what your little child did down here." He, and then the Lord's hands are tied. He's like, the Job thing. You didn't do anything wrong. He's allowed to come at you. So if you did something wrong, you don't think he's allowed to come after you. So when you do something wrong, that's what goes on. That's how he gets in. So if you just walk on a life of not even paying attention to God and doing a million things wrong every day, which you do when you don't know the Lord, they have every right to attack you. And that's where those problems come from. And then if you're walking with the Lord, those same problems come at you, I'm afraid to say. No less, maybe even more. But at least I'm enduring it, and then those enduring suffering turns into merits in heaven so the Lord can help somebody else. That's what monks suffer for. That's what any religious suffers for. Is for the world, for you and me, for everybody, not just themselves. Especially for the secular people who have nobody praying for them. That's who most religious people are praying for. So, the demons have free reign when you sin. basically. And the less you sin, the less free reign they have. But when you're a holy person living in devoutly with the Lord, you see sufferings of all kinds, but they're all different. It's not like the ones you get when you're secular in the world. They're way different. They're a different kind of suffering. You suffer with the Lord. There's a communion in this suffering, whereas that suffering you're alone. So the demons are trying to sever our connection with God. That's what they try to do all the time. That's why they make you angry. The second you're angry, you're not thinking about God, and you go down to the devil's ways. You go base. You go from cerebral, ethereal, spiritual. Anger comes in, then you're base. You can start going down to the lower chakras, and it comes there, the stomach, the genitals, the passions. That's how it works. Demons are always trying to get you down there. So when somebody's a worldly person, they get struck by the Lord, they get touched by grace, and then they start coming to the Lord and they start praying and everything. Boy, they get open to all kinds of attacks. They're easy prey for the demons to come in when you're just walking in holiness in the beginning. So it's a tough time for holy people with the demons, but it's different than a tough time with the demons when you're a secular person. You don't have the Lord's protection. It's not like you escape all this. It's not like when you become holy, everything becomes a bed of roses. It doesn't. But the demons having control over attacking you is a different thing. So it's from the Lord. When you're walking in holiness, it's from the Lord. You don't even concentrate about the devil. You don't think about him. In fact, the more holier you are, the less you think about the devil, but more about you being tempted by him. That's the way it works. So we're our own worst enemy. We are, each of us. The person inside of us, that old person that doesn't want to walk with the Lord and be with the Lord, that wants to be itself, live in the passions and seek pleasure. That part wants to bring you down to hell. It doesn't want, does it? Look, okay, I want to go and pray to, no, I want to go and, go to see a sporting event or something, You see, that's the other part of you that's going to bring you to hell. And bring you to hell means being stuck with the body at death. This is what hell is, okay? If you believe in God and you have the spiritual feeling and belief system, it draws you to him at death. But if you believe there's no God, just a body, your belief system is attaching to this physical body that's going to decompose. So where are you going to go? You're going to go with it. And then that brings you down into the hells, the base dimensions, So it's a whole mess there. But anyway, back to the demons dragging us down there, is what my point was, is the demons, forget about the demons. They attack you when they're holy, they attack you when you're secular, But I'm just want to teach you, when you're secular and you go sin, that's how they'll get you. When you're holy, whatever you're working on in yourself, that's how the Lord will work with you. Okay? Here's an example. When I was first going into deep prayer and I was having divine union with the Lord and meet him, the next minute I'd have a suicidal depression. This dark depression would come over me. It kept happening like a roller coaster, up and down. And then I talked to the Blessed Mother about it. I thought it was, me and something from the past, catching up to me. But she says, no. She says, your pride is growing. As soon as you have time with the Lord and you're meeting him, your pride is growing, she's saying. Your ugly pride is getting me. I'm look holier than everybody else. Look, I can meet God. She goes, the Lord's got to knock that out of you, and He uses those little depressions to keep you balanced. That was my experience. So, suffering is not to be avoided. It's my main point here. Talking about the demons and their attacks and what they do has nothing to do with suffering. It has to do with, you walking right with the Lord. Because they could bring you, they could bring you to death before before you had time to meet the Lord. That's what they're trying to do. Have you meet your death before you, made peace with the Lord. I have to have a way of clock here because I'm getting worried about time again. Then I got to go look back over there. All right, let me go check the time out, guys. It's 11 minutes. Let me wrap this up in a couple minutes. So, the demons are ugly, ugly creatures. If you could see a demon, if you could see one hideous demon, you couldn't help but throw up. That's how hideous they are. Just one. And they're so hideous they can't even see each other, and they can't even see themselves, although they'll throw up. That's how hideous they are. And they were beautiful angels at one time. Beautiful angels. And when they fell from heaven, when they lost that bond with heaven, and came here and start to live into the bases, they became hideous. They turned hideous over time. They were beautiful and they turned hideous. And Lucifer, Satan, still sees himself. If you see him, he'll have himself looking like he was when he was Lucifer, when he was a music minister in heaven. That's how he makes everything. But he's not like that. He's the most hideous, ugliest thing, But he makes everybody see him as that way because he could do that, But it turns you hideous. And the more sinful you are, the more your character is, your physical structure is. Now look at my face. I'm 67 years old. I'm 67 years old. This is the Blessed Mother. This is the Lord that walks with me. I still climb ladders. I'm going to paint a house 40 feet in the air, this is what the Lord does when you walk with Him. He keeps you young, If you're spending all your efforts helping others and never thinking about yourself, He gives you health. He just does. All right, He doesn't all the time. Don't get me on it. Look at Mother Teresa. Oh my God, she suffered so much, that poor woman. He's given me so many breaks. Listen, this is what happens. When you walk with the Blessed Mother, you get a gentle path walk. That's what happens. When you walk with Jesus, He's the master. He's going to give you a tough walk. He's like Daddy, right? He's going to make tough. Go with Mommy. It's an easier ride. Let me tell you that. Whew. I've reached divine union in 4 years. 4 years. Once I started saying, "Oh, you could reach divine union? They could come and dwell in you. The Holy Spirit and the Father and Son can come and dwell in you." I read this in the Bible. I said, "How do you do that?" The Catholic Church taught me how to do that. The saints. I read all the saints. How they did it, and I did it, and I did it. It worked. So I did it with the Blessed Mother in the world, not in a monastery. So if I could reach divine union, me, stupid little jerk, in 4 years, I'm either a genius or I'm crazy, And the only reason you can tell is by my fruits. How is the life I'm living? Okay? Am I running around doing pleasure? Or am I giving my entire life to the Lord, living unceasing charity and unceasing prayer? That's how I live. Now, doesn't that make you think that I did have divine union? And that was the Blessed Mother and not me? Anyway, I love her dearly and she did everything. Wait till you see in heaven. You'll be so sad that you didn't find out and learn about her and love her. You'll be so sad about that. You're like, I missed the boat. So catch on now. All right, guys. Do something nice for somebody tomorrow, especially a stranger. God bless you.